So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are at it again. It is T&T, and it's all about the truth, nothing but the truth. As you all know, we are just here like every Sunday to give you the best of what we have and discussions, things that have been blown up our mind. We have been thinking about it. We are not very sure of what to say, how to act on it. And, many times we need people to guide us or people to help us understand some situations. So we always bring you the truth, none but the truth at its best. And my name is Minister D. As you all know, every time for you here, I have some special guests I would like to introduce to you very soon. But before then, we just want to go through, people that are pushing this program and are very keen to it that it moves on, or let's say companies or brands. And these companies are very important to us because without them pushing us, we wouldn't be as far as we are right now. And shout out to all our viewers. Today, the topic is going to be Fanta Bruta. I don't know if you can find it in your dictionary. Fanta Bruta. It's Fanta and Bruta. That's what I say. Aha. So the topic is Christianity versus family planning. I say wait here. So people that push are pushing this program forward happens to be Ohima Muchia. Ohima Muchia is all about African cooking and they'll deliver it to you. It is so wonderful. She's based in Belgium. And trust me, even if you want it in Canada or Ben or WhatsApp, bro, you feel the heat, you feel the food. She's very good at it. Then we also have Adoma Mukase. Adoma Mukase, Adoma is in Berlin. One branch is in Berlin, but wherever you are, we have branches there. I happen to be involved, but I don't cook. So we will bring the best of African food to you. Then we have Tali Food, Mighty Food, Nigerian cooking, Nigerian food. If you want the best of Nigeria, the best of Africa included, you will get it with Tali Food. Then we have Mama Double N. Mama Double N is all about the family life and healthy food. And if you watch this lady, you will learn a lot. She's having fun. She's, explaining how to have fun with the family and still do your hobbies or stuff so that you don't get bored. And it's very healthy. We have Wild Gathering backing us. Wild Gathering is all about women empowerment. To be a woman, there is a level to it. You are not just a woman just by birth or by nature, but you're a woman because there are some blessings that come with it. And before you see those blessings, you need to accept and love yourself first. There's a saying, you can't give what you don't have. So, woman, you need to love yourself first, and then you can add in love. At the end of the day, cry, I say respect and submit to the love from men. You understand? So that is Wild Gathering. If you need help in anywhere in Germany, mostly in Frankfurt, there's also Royal Consult that will help you. Translation, reading your papers, whatever you get from the Home Office will accompany you, write some letters for you. And this is being found or is being guided by a young lady that was born in Germany, Roslav, and it is Royal Consult. Try to visit. If you want the best makeup in the whole world, even on the planet, just contact us. You get to know Beauty by CY Touch. She will change you from your natural looks to something else. You know, see yourself. Rebecca say, hey, Mimini. Yes, that is Beauty by CY Touch. And then we also have people that are supporting individuals. I'd like to greet all of you. In case I forgot your name, don't worry. The visible ones is those that I have on my paper. Just send me your link and then let's advertise you because We need to help each other. That is why we have this platform. It's about the truth, none but the truth. And the truth is, if Africans, we don't get together, we don't hold together, we will break. All the parables, is in your dialect, don't worry. So I won't take it too long. You see why I'm sweating? I have a man of God here, Otienedi. I have to be very decent. Make Jesus Christ, I'm spell it. You understand? Then I have a minister here, and also Tonyo Mwa, just say, and then the angels, no, I have to be asked. And then I can see my sister also down there with the hair. So that is my twin sister. She has hair, and I have no. It is also a blessing to us. And Malcolm will be joining us. So let me quickly introduce our panelists. Then we introduce the special guests, and then we kick it going. And at the end, Diagro. So please, if you're out there and you know anyone who might be interested in this topic, or is not even interested, but they are friends on his or her list that might be interested, just go on and send the link out there. Let them follow, let them add up, let them like, let them share, and so that they can also add their opinion to us. Before then, I can see Adjoa Roslav is always already here. She's always on time. She said today will be nice with 3E or 4E. I'll say hello. Okay, so let's kick it going. As I said, my twin is right here. That is Constance in the house. You all know Constance. The only one who can intimidate me live with hair. How are you, Constance?
Oh, I'm good. Yeah.
Thank God. You are looking good. Happy Sunday for that.
Yes, thank you. And yourself?
I'm doing great. Like I said, sweating now because microphone on my bass on the heat. No. So just here. Uh-huh. I saw Mekon on, but Mekon will come back, I believe. So let's get it straight on. Okay, he's here. Yes, sir. Good evening, Mekon.
Good evening, my boy.
How are you?
And I'm good, and I'm grateful to be here again. I just hope my everything is clear.
Today the internet is I say Nikura da home more, and then I can see say sound and so but still no be my volume.
Kakra bi ho.
Thank you very much.
And
So without
good evening
wasting
to our
much
distinguished
time,
listeners too.
yes. Without wasting much time, obviously a time will call tomorrow. People will be working, so we wouldn't take much of the time. We are going to hit the nail on its head. Let me first introduce. They say ladies first, and my mama Stina Diamond Embra. So this is our beautiful guest for today, Stina Diamond. How are you? How are you? Oh, you're looking good, though.
Hi.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello. Auntie,
So can you quickly before our papa comes on, can you quickly introduce yourself because metete sounds be what baby as me YouTube, me vision, me who Facebook, me who tell us something small about yourself.
oh, not very small. I'm the diamond artist, and mother, and wife, and
I think there's a problem with your microphone, is a little bit on and off.
I.
Yeah.
Uh, hello.
Yes, we hear you.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, as I said, I'm Stina Diamond, I'm a gospel artist. I'm mother of three. I'm a wife, and a nurse by profession.
Wow. That's great. And there's a topic where you say, yeah, Tomao.
Oh,
Yes, for idiot. That's great. Thank you very much. I think if those that couldn't really hear it, she's a mother of three, a wife as well, a professional singer. May I make comedy? A professional singer. She's good at it. She has her songs, and please just give in the Stina Diamond. Go and see her on YouTube, see her on Facebook, and I won't talk long. She's got it. Yes, and come again. Instagram, yes, Instagram. Thank you very much. So let's also welcome our papa in the house. You see, these two people, I always say they are business people, they are very busy. It's the way you get them now, so take it time. Now, oh, drop BBR. So This is our handsome Papa all the way from Frankfurt. Papa, welcome to TNT.
Thank you so much. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. And I greet all the panelists and our special guests in that. As may God richly bless you. Yeah.
Amen. Amen.
It's already displayed on the screen. Xavier Pejoa is my name. I'm the associate pastor of New Covenant Assemblies of God, an entrepreneur who runs a traveling agency, world travel agency in Frankfurt. I'm a father of 5. That is it.
Wonderful, wonderful. That's a topic we may have done more. I'm loving this topic today. Thank you, Papa. Welcome to the scene. So we just keep it going. Once again, please, if you are on, don't feel shy. Just drop in your comment, your opinion, your questions. We are all here. We are not here to intimidate anyone or drop some bombs on anybody, but we just want to discuss an issue that probably people have been thinking about it. How do I go about it? I'm a Christian. They talk about family planning. Should I? Shouldn't I? How do I go about it? That is why we are here. We are here to give advice and also discuss and then also drop things that are on our hearts down here. So the topic once again is Christianity versus family planning. Probably you have read some of my comments and it says that, it is something that the Catholic Church actually is against it, but they also talk about natural family planning. So it gets me confused a little bit. Which one is the natural family planning and which one is family planning is family planning, right? And then I think there are some 2 quotations there. If you ask any pastor, any man of God, they will hit you with it because this guy was doing it and God killed him, and the command of God was multiply. Now what's but our background of this program happens to be Blacks Abroad and our challenges. So if you're in Germany and you are somewhere abroad now, family planning, how do you go with it? I think this one there, I'll just start with the ladies first once again, and then just give us a general idea of what you think about family planning on its own, and then Papa gets in, and then we just kick it to the discussion part. So, Stina Diamond and Eddie.
Okay, so yes, good evening once again. So yeah, call English and I am calling tree.
You can mix it. Arabic in Kwaniente, Latin crap power.
But I think that because we have Nigerian viewers, maybe the English.
And so when we say family planning, it's just as simple as the name goes. Just making sure you plan your family well. In order for planning your family so well that you will be able to take care of the number of children to give and the quality of education you want to give. So family planning is just it's just as the name implies, planning your family well. I think that's what I can say for now. Maybe as we go deeper into the discussion, I will come up with 1 or 2 things. But I think on the basis for a layman, that is how family planning is, and it goes on with the use of some methods and some contraceptives. But as I was giving the topic, I think we will go there. But family planning is simply planning your family in a way that you think is better for you and in a way that you think you will be able to manage and make sure your children get the best out of everything you do.
Thank you very much. So I'll throw the ball to Papa. Yes, Papa, please give us a brief summary of family planning.
Actually, family planning, as we all know, initially, as I've just said, that when you want to go into it in a biblical aspect of faith, it's different thing altogether. Today, because of the way the world is going, we human beings are trying to adjust ourselves in order to live as we can, to be comfortable as we can. That is why all this family planning and other things that we are going to talk about has come in. But in actual fact, in the beginning, it was not like that. By then, God have given us choices to make which which does not contradict His word. So it depends upon the way you want to have it. Yeah, because whatever you do which does not contradict the word of God, God is not against it.
Against it.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. I believe when we talk about family planning, as our sister have just said, it is up to you how to manage your family, especially the children. What we are talking about mainly depends upon the more children you bring and how you are able to cater for them. We know most of us, the families we are coming from, were born 10, 11, 12. It took the grace of God for many of us to survive it. That is why I believe people sat down and think that, look, it is good they reduce the number of children we give birth to. But one I will also ask, as we are going, does it please God for us to reduce the power? So that is it briefly. As we will be going deep into it, what I will say, it depends upon, the families that are involved.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah. Thank
Oh.
you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So before we go on and give our questions and everything, Sister Constance, say something.
Yes, just as my brother and sister have already said, family planning is basically a way of planning your family. But one thing we see that it's like women planning. Mostly it's the women who really decide because most of the contraceptives is the women who take it. Meanwhile, we have other contraceptives that the men can use. But in the African society, you see that most men are sort of bossy. They are like, no, I am the head of the home. Well, I am not the one who is going to carry the pregnancy. He is not the one actually taking care of the kid. So the burden most often lies on the women. So it becomes a bit of a hard decision when it comes to the women, when it comes to family planning. If you don't, like most melodies, well, I can my deposit. If you don't track your cycle well, if you don't decide that, oh, maybe I'm working, I want this number of children at this time, it's very, very strenuous being a young mom, working and taking care of kids and other things. It's not an easy thing. And I know there are some other Christians who are really against family planning. Some are like, no, it's a no-go area. We are sort of preventing what God wants us to do. I mean, to continue with procreation, that we should fill the earth and replenish it. It becomes a bit of a challenge for young mothers, young reproductive mothers. Yeah. So I think I will leave that for now. As we go on, we bring out more factors. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Malcolm. I think
Michael, we are not hearing you.
your sound is off.
Yeah.
Yes, now I hear you.
Sister Constance is always the type that will bring debate when it comes to issues like this. She just brought a debate between who carries the burden the most, which is something if we say we are going to talk about right now, I think we are not going to end the show. But well, let me just say, family planning is um, the ability of a couple to be able to plan the timings and the number of kids they would have. I mean that will suit the family, right? How many between the first and the next born, the age difference, and then the number of kids as a whole, that the couple are planning to have, which will suit them in a way that they will be able to accommodate and then take good care of them. Because, like I always say, the number of kids in Africa, when we talk about back at home, when we talk about the number of kids we have at home and the improper planning, I mean, which is the timing between each of the kids, is what brings about these social vices we are having even here in Europe and then in the United States. But usually you would find it among the blacks that the timing and then the number of kids is a problem. So family planning, to be able to have that ability, is something we can talk about in a positive and then in a negative way. That is in what capacity or in what perspective you will be looking at it from. Yeah, so I think that it's a very nice topic today, and since Mr. Constance has started the debate, we are going to see how far it's going to go.
Okay, thank you very much. So let me quickly go on this part of how do you call it, our topic, and I would like to read so that we started immediately from there. It says that, okay, that is the wrong page. It says that there are two verses that strictly talks against family planning in the Bible. I wouldn't go to the verse, but I'll give, let's say, a short summary on that. It says that, you know, as we said, the Bible says that we should, increase and flourish and give birth and, make sure that we fill the earth. That is one thing. That is actually a command from God, right? And then the other one, there was this guy now, the guy was about to, finish the whole job, and he said, no, I won't finish it in here. I know that the men of God, many our minister, they know the verses very well. And why now this guy just pull it off and started shooting fire extinguisher or you go about thing. So according to my Bible, no, God even killed this man. No. So that it becomes very clearly to us, say, this kind of family planning or trying to prevent and everything is forbidden. And I think Papa also said something about it. Say, at the end of the day, it became man's decision to see how we can stop this thing, like, having 20 kids. Like when we talk about my grandfather, Onokrano, he didn't give birth to a lot, but when they were 19. So imagine the one who gave birth to a lot, and that means over 20 and stuff. And then when we come to Europe now, from 5 going, people start looking at you somehow. God be so good. Last week we had a lady who has 11 kids, and I'll say happy, because my question will always be, how did you manage? So probably this family planning of a thing has its reason. And how do we talk about it? Let's say when it comes to the biblical part, I'm a Christian, I go to church, and I'm thinking of having family planning. Then I go to, let's say, Stina Diamond, or I go to Pastor Xavier and say, how do I go about it? Papa, what will now be the kind of advice probably the church will give to me as somebody who wants to enter family planning?
As a pastor, according to where you are coming from, the Bible has its interpretation. That is where we always get things wrong. Sometimes, we interpret the Bible according to our own understanding without allowing God to give us the meaning or the understanding of what we have read. Where you read from concerning the young guy who went into, his sister or whatever you put it, and then refused to what?
I think that's in reference to Onan.
Yeah.
Onan,
Yeah. Died, and then he was supposed to take the brother's
wife. I know. Yeah. That refused to, give a seat to the brother's wife. God, not because he didn't want to reproduce. but God killed him because of his wickedness. You understand? So
Okay.
it's about the reproduction because the Bible did not specifically say that because of the reproduction, that is why he was killed.
Mm-hmm.
We are giving that interpretation that because he did not finish the job inside, that is why he was killed. No, you know, that is our interpretation, but that the Bible did not specifically say that. I am just putting this across so that sometimes we know when we are interpreting the Bible, we will know how to go about it. Secondly, as a pastor, I don't believe in family planning. That is how I'll put it.
Mm-hmm.
Why I don't believe in family planning is that because it is against when you put the word family planning in place, it means that it contradicts the word of God.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you as a family, you and your wife can decide to plan your because if you say you don't have children or you don't have to continue having children, that does not mean you have to go in taking pills and stopping what God has ordained.
Oh, damn.
There are people who does not take pills, but then they are still.
Mm-hmm.
That is why by my introduction, family planning is it came by human assumption or human decision in
Mm-hmm.
order to reduce the reproduction. Like if you go to China, I don't know, I stand to be corrected. If you go to China, they said there is a law they have passed that every family should have a one child. I don't know
Yes.
whether it is true or not. That I read it in the papers, but I don't know how authentic it is. That is why I say I stand to be corrected.
Mm-hmm.
So this it is not God who have given this law. It is human that has passed this law. Why? Because China, their population is becoming unbecoming. That is why they have scattered all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, if you come to me and you said I should advise you how to do family planning, one, I am not a physician, I'm not a doctor. My my spiritual advice I will tell you is that you both of you should decide and then know how to go about it. It is your decision. How many children you want to have that depends upon you.
Mm-hmm.
I have 5 children. It is God who gives. So if God said he wants to give me more, I cannot tell God that I don't want. If God said it is okay, I'll say thank you. The 5, I'll do my best. 2 are already in university. The 3, I'll do my best to cater for them, and then we move forward. So it is up to you and the wife and the husband to decide and then to pray and seek the face of God. We are talking about Christians here. I am not
Mm-hmm.
talking about believer. I'm not talking about somebody who is outside. I'm talking about Christian because whatever you do, you must first seek the face of God in order to direct you. The problem we have is that we don't have patience to wait for God's answer. That is why we are always going ahead of God. But for me, to taking pills or protecting yourself is not the best way because it is against the word of God.
Word of God.
That's how I'll put it.
Thank you very much. I love the part that Papa said that let's see it as Christians because let's be honest, so those that are not Christians, they are doing it already. They don't care whether
Yeah.
it is whatever. But then, me as a Christian, if my next step is, I already have 10 kids, so 20 kids, so how do I go about it there? Papa is saying that at the end of the day, it is your decision, you and your partner, of course. We'll come back to what Sister Constance and Malcolm was saying that because mostly we be like when it's in Africa or mostly Africa, that's how I know it. It is the man's decision because the man is the head of the house. Whilst the woman is crying, number one, how to give birth and how to go about it. So, Papa, thank you very much on that part. Let me get to our sister. So, imagine I have my best friend happens to be Stina Diamond, and I'll be like, "Oh, sister, advise me, oh, Charlie." I said, I'm too blessed. The kids are coming, sir. But how do I go about it? I want to go enter family planning. What would be your advice?
Okay, thank you very much. But I think that is making this a bit difficult for me. Because one, I have to speak on the nursing background, and two, I
Mhm.
speak on the Christianity background. You see,
Right.
so it's making it a bit difficult for me, but I will try. Daddy said that in the Christian religion, it is a no in the Christian religion. But I wanted to ask him. Maybe I will ask him later. But
Yeah.
I am saying, as he said as he used Onan as an example, he said it was I think it was the motive behind. That is the main
Mhm.
reason. But apart from these verses in the Bible, there's no verse in the Bible that says that goes against family planning. And even this one, it was because of his wickedness, as Pastor rightly said. That is why the Lord killed him. You
Mhm.
see, so if I want to decide for my family,
Mm.
let's say I am a Christian in the church. I am talking as a nurse and as a Christian. So what if I give it? What if the Bible is against it, the church is against it, and then I have to give birth to 5 children and I'm not able to cater for them? How many children do the churches cater for? You see? So it makes it very difficult for some people, for even the kids to get to their goals. And this verse in the Bible that says we should multiply and replenish the earth, it didn't say children. There was no specification. So it could be job, it could be money, it could be anything, because it wasn't specified. You see?
Mhm.
He said we should multiply. So multiply in what? The Lord didn't say multiply in children. Multiply. It wasn't specific. There's nothing. It wasn't specified. You see. So I happen to work in Ghana for 8 years as a nurse, and I know what people go through with kids. Really. So for me, I will always advise, if you know you cannot cater for more kids, you just plan and then you give birth to the number you can. So what is the essence of giving birth to 5 kids? You cannot even afford their education. You see, we happen to be fortunate to be in Europe, where school is free. One or two things are free. So we are on a better side. But
Mhm.
sometimes we should also, how many churches take care of the kids? Let's say I'm in a church and I have 5 kids. How many churches take care of other people's kids? You see, it becomes the burden of, and sometimes it doesn't become just the burden of the parent, it becomes the burden of the society. Because if you say the Lord said we should multiply, you give birth to 5 kids, which really deep down within you that you cannot control, you cannot give them the best of life, and then these children go astray, it becomes a burden on the society. And I don't think the Lord will be happy if you are not able to, yes, you've been able to multiply, but you are not able to cater for the kids. So
Mhm.
for me, it's a yes, yes, yes for me. If you know that you can't be able to cater for the kids, you just consider the number you can really take good care of. We have these armed robbers, we have so streets. Oh yes, when you go deep down into their backgrounds, you could see that it was as a result of,
Oh. Mhm.
yes, that was the result. You see, so why will I follow um
Oh, I think there's a breakdown
Yeah.
on her side with the
Internet.
yes. While she tries to come back, and I hope she does, let me quickly read this comment. Okay, I think she's back.
yeah. So why should I follow the sequence, or I don't know how to put it, that we should replenish the earth and give birth to a child who will at the end of the day become an armed robber? I
Hmm.
don't going to be good in the sight of God. I don't know, but that in my own, sometimes I always talk with family with this topic. These topics are very, very sensitive to me because I worked on the background and I saw how people suffer. It got to a time we had to help them with the catering of the kids. We have to sometimes gather food, give to the people in the name of replenishing the earth. I don't think it's to me, that is mine. I stand to be corrected, but I don't think yeah, I don't think we should just
Please, can I quickly chip in?
Yes.
Just to correct some a statement from my sister. We are talking about God. We are not talking about church.
yeah.
The church, the church is being governed by man, so the church can institute something that is not of God, which we know many churches have their dogma, which man-made rules that does nothing to do with God. That is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about what God says about family planning. That is what I'm saying. So if the church can pass a law which is not of God, and many churches are doing that, which is against the rule of what? Of God. So please, let us, try to focus not on the church, because the church, we are human beings. Today I can wake up and say, look, we gather, we said, this is what we believe in, so that everybody to follow. So long as the people are our followers, and they love it, they will follow it. But what does God, at the end, what does God say about the family planning? Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I said I don't think God will be happy when we give birth to so many kids and we are not able to cater for them. And these kids at the end of the day become armed robbers, or they become burdens on the society. I don't think God will be happy. That is my, or give birth to a child you know deep down within you that you cannot take care of this child.
Mm-hmm.
God will not. God is a God of order. He doesn't do the things anyhow. So he wouldn't want you to give birth to a child that this child will just suffer on this earth, depend on other people to eat, go through school in a hard way. Yeah, that sometimes when you've not been on the background, you don't know what we are talking about. But when you are really on the ground, you see the way people really suffer to even get just a two meal for a day. So what is the essence of giving birth to 5 kids if you can't even provide a day meal for the kids? This is imprisonment.
Thank you very much on that. Let me quickly also read what our sister Adra Roslav just put here. I had to smile also a little bit. She said that, please, Pastor, God's answer takes very long. And if people like me and my husband, Asamaba, if we don't do family planning, we will have 235 children and more to come. The age difference is a clear evidence that if we don't plan properly, we will make our children suffer. Under 4 years of marriage, we had 3 children. Please, we need family planning. The other one says, I'll say, please, Pastor, what if there is a couple that gets sick children, I mean, behinderung? Shouldn't they do family planning, but rather bring sick children into this world for the kids to suffer in the name of sin before God? Let me see if there are others then. So that if all goes to Stina or to Papa when they come in, they can easily answer those. The Bible states that knowledge and wisdom has been given to us. Now, how can we live without a plan? Therefore, I believe family planning is not evil in terms heaven or hell. Okay, and then we have Paddy say that, sorry, I joined very late, but from own opinion, I think making kids take two to be one. Thanks. Okay, thank you very much. So, Paddy, you will break down some of your statement for us to exactly know what you're saying. So, Papa, this is what Adjoa Roslav is saying. Or say how God has blessed her, not dear. If she starts saying she's giving birth to kids, dear, it's going to be 235 kids. So what should she do? And the second question was on, there are some of them that give birth and then today the child is sick in the head, the arm, and all this stuff, like the doctors tell you before. How do you or how can you go about this?
Concerning the first one, I will take the first one. Yeah, it is very true. There are people who I will say the moment they meet with their partners, I mean, they take seed. That is there, and it is the doing of God. So, if it is the doing of God. If you want to, pause on that. For me, that is what I said. I am talking as a pastor, and then I am also talking in the perspective of the Bible. That is why I said at the end, God is the final decider. If you think maybe He has blessed you so much, you prayed for it, isn't it? When you are blessing your marriage, the pastor who laid hands on you, or a traditional, the elders who prayed for you, they said, "Be fruitful." So it is a prayer that is working for you. So at the same time, if you think, okay, you are 4, I have 5. I have not yet prayed to God that I don't want to have again, because I don't know if I want to have or not. Yeah, I have not decided. We have not decided. I will not say we have not decided. You understand? But we decide that we don't want to have more, I will only go on my knees and say, "That will be done." If God says yes, yes. If He says no, I have nothing to fight for, because if I go to stop what God is doing, it means I am fighting against God. And then let us understand that, look, if God gives you a duty, He makes sure He provides for you in order to accomplish that duty. He will never give you anything without providing the solution for you. It is us. It is us who it is out of mismanagement, especially we Africans. It is out of mismanagement. That is why things does not go the way we want it to go. Because these Europeans that we are seeing, the older people, some of them gave birth to 6, 7, and so forth, even though the system that they put in place work for them. So that is why you don't. But yesterday, when you see this, you go to, you come to Frankfurt. Let's see, behind my office, you see these colleagues. Are they not from home?
Yes.
Are they not from home? They are all from home. So how did they end up? They have a very good life. They have a very good institutions that take care of everything that they need. But at the end, are they not junkies? So all depends upon the way we see things, the way God sees it. That is why I say, for me, I will not advise my church members to do family planning by taking pills, but I would rather advise them to do family planning by seeking the face of God in order for God to give them the direction. Because that is the most important thing as a Christian. Those who are not Christians are free to do whatever they want to, because they are not bound by any law. But we are bound by the word of God. Our sister said that, in Genesis chapter 1, verse 26, as he said we should be fruitful, multiply, and so forth. Yes, God did not specifically mention some things there, but He said we should multiply and fill the earth. How do we fill the earth? The multiplication comes in a broad phase. We are to what? Fill the world, multiply and fill the world with all our substance, including giving birth. Because without giving birth, how do we fill the earth? Without giving birth, how do we reproduce, and then we will leave our generation, the generation that is coming. Yes, thank you. Yeah, thank you for your comment. I think that our host will read it. As I said, from Genesis 20, 126 going as God said we should multiply. So for me, my best knowledge concerning family planning is to seek the face of God. Yes, other pastors will give different interpretation, but each and every one has the way he understands the scriptures.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe that I don't want to go there, but for me, that is my understanding. That if you want to stop giving birth, it is not about, because if God wants us to stop giving birth, he will tell us in the scriptures that, look, if you want to stop giving birth, go start taking pills. He will provide means for us.
Thank you very much, Papa. I love that part, and I think I'll break it in a way that I personally understood it. And please, like Papa always says, I stand to be corrected. The thing is that since God has given you the ability, has blessed you with that fruitfulness for you to give birth to, let's say, as many children as you can, it is actually your duty. You see, sometimes we actually try to put our duty aside and make it very comfortable for ourselves, right? So it is your duty to now start planning for all these kids and make sure they are comfortable. I think that is where, if I'm correct, Papa, that is where we are supposed to go. Because let's say I know today I'm going to have a party, just as an example. In this party, I'm expecting 250 guests. If I mismanage and plan for 2 guests, it is not the people that are coming's fault, but it is me, my fault. You understand? So if I know I am so blessed that I can have, like Roslav said, 235 kids, then I have to start planning for 235 kids to make sure they all feel comfortable instead of stopping God's work or command. If I'm correct.
Yeah, God's blessing upon your life.
Exactly.
Can I say something?
Yes, please.
You know, sometimes there are some things that you say that they are easier said than done. Probably some people have the means to take care of the number of children they want. But let's look at Africa as a whole. How many people are able to take care of their families if we should say that there will be no family planning? Look at, we are aware of the situation back at home. And that is where our focus is. You see, even our family members within your own family, you see, you have an auntie who has so many children struggling. So it becomes you, probably you, a family member, your duty to help. We in diaspora, how many, and the number of people that we have to every month support them at home, all because there's nothing like a family planning. You see, but if the person had decided, oh, because looking at my situation, I think 2 or 3 children are okay for me. But you see, they'll be giving birth. I mean, within a year, she is pregnant, she has given, and the children are, it's a whole lot of stress. And that is where, if Pastor should say that we should seek the face of God, I don't seem to get it, because it is your life. You have seen you are there with your wife. You see that you are reproducing. And what should God come and tell you again? He has given you the brains. That's this and this. For you, I have every month. If you want to have sex every month or something, you are going to get pregnant. You look at your system, but the funds to take care of them is not. Or even if you have, look at what other people are going through. Would you say that we are going to seek the face of God to do this because God doesn't want family? It's up to you, because God has given us the brains. We are supposed to use it. So that is why you have. It's called family planning. You need to plan. You see, everything is like most Christians, we are like, oh, God this, God that. But there are some things, we are human beings. We should look at the realities on the ground. What is happening to people? What is society turning into? Well, this time when you are here, you listen to Ghana. Somebody has gone to kill this person for rituals. Somebody has done this. Armed robbers are on the rampage. This and this. It's some of them. It's because of all this, because they just give birth like that. We just give birth. They've given birth. All they see is, oh, wow. Gone were those days. They say they'll give you what? Bedudrai. If you are able to give birth to 10, yes, sure that yes, you've done well, then we give you a goat. But who takes care of the 10? It's you. So this is the era that we think that with all the problems that we are having, society is having, it's high time we decide that no, there is a way to go around it. It's just like being a Christian and being sick. We go through surgery, we take medication. All those ones are, it's like God given gifts, and it's like our brains that God has given us. That is what we are using to it. We are not stopping procreation, but we just want to curb the kind of things that society has to go through because of overpopulation, or probably kids that are not being well catered for. Look at the number of kids on our streets selling. In Europe here, where would you see a child selling? Look at the child labor they go through in our villages. Instead of them to go to school, they are going to the farm. You see, so it's like everything is sort of in a mess. And if we are able to say that, okay, let's go through this channel and then curb what society, to have a better society, a better place for ourselves and our kids, the best is to go through this. So for me, I would, even though we are Christians, we are within the church, I wouldn't go against family planning in any way. Because for you to bring birth to kids and not taking care of them properly, you had better not bring them to the world at all.
Thank you very much.
Quickly, come here and then, she said, we like Christian, when we're sick, we go to hospital. That is where I said, God will never do anything without giving a way out. When God, Luke, when you read the Bible, Luke was a physician. In the Old Testament, there were physicians, because God knows that we will get sick and then we may need medication. You understand? So in this, look, Jacob gave birth to how many children?
Yeah, to 12.
He gave birth to 12 children. So why didn't Jacob say that he wants to do what do you call it? Planning. You understand? So, do you think God does not know that he was going to give birth to such children? So we should. That is why I said I am confining myself in the biblical context. I don't want to go out, because when you go out, I don't have any go out of that biblical jurisdiction. I don't have anything to say about that. That one, you can do whatever you want, but so long as you are a child of God, you must abide by the child of. Yes, God has given us grace. That is why He said from the beginning. A minister says something before you know that you are going to have a party. You are going to invite about 20 people, and then you prepare for 2 people. So the 18 people, who should come and take care of them? And as a human being, you shouldn't think that you are going to give birth for somebody to come and take care of them.
Yeah.
Because you can take care of them. That is why God has given them to you. So you rather should plan from the beginning. That okay, I am going to have for me and my wife, if we get married, maybe we may want to have 4 children. But then if God bless us more, fine. So you make a provision for at least 4 or 5 or 6. So when it comes and it goes beyond, you are able to contain them. That is what I said. In Africa, it is mismanagement that has brought us to where we are. That has brought us, because we don't even plan before we get married. We just a boyfriend, girlfriend, then the pregnancy comes. That is why you go to Katamantu and so forth. People are sleeping in store in kiosks. That is not God's fault.
True.
You understand? It is your own fault. So no, that we shouldn't blame God about. God has given us the grace. God said, before you give birth, you must be properly married before you give birth. You go into friendship and then you, without any plan, you go and give birth. How do you expect that child to come and be? So if we are talking about a family plan, for me, I don't believe in it. That is why, and I will not advise or not preach family planning in my. If I will preach it in a different way, which does not go against the stance of God. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let me quickly read this comment. This goes to Atra Rose and the husband. This happens to be my mom. He said that it is true, Pastor. I also pray for my son and the wife. That's why they are giving birth to babies. And let me read this from Paddy. Paddy says that, good, I will break it. It's all because I have 4 kids and I'm even scared to go to my partner. Oh. Because when say onya touching or hello or wape, that partner is going to give you the thing. Okay. So we have that there are so many natural ways to stay family planned in terms of getting pregnant. That's why women have ovulation and period moments. There are also plants and seeds that you use to prevent pregnancy. I support family planning. So let me quickly read. I think this was what was supposed to come. Let me read from here because it's not complete. It says that then God said, let us make mankind in our own image, in our likeness, so that they may rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky, over the livestock and all the wild animals, and over all the. Okay, let's forward it to 27. And so God created man in his own image, and he created them, male and female created them. Okay, so 28 says that God blessed them and said to them, be fruitful and increase in number. If you have a Bible, please underline it, like the pastors will say, please underline it. Or say, God blessed them and said to them, be fruitful and increase in number. Fill the earth and subdue it. Rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky and over every living creature and that moves on the ground. Let me pause it there. So, to our dear sister Sina, so it is in Kwalano, it is the babies also in number, give birth to them. You understand? So, what what is your take on that? Because now we know that it is the kids, right? It is the number 1, 2.
Okay, so Pastor, once again, that waiting. How do we wait on God to tell us? So if let's say I have a 6-month-old baby, which I know I have 11-month-old baby now. So
Congrats.
oh, thank you. Thank you. So you have such a child, and then you know you can get pregnant the least possible time. And there are some people we have different. Do you know there are some people who, these cycles we even talk about doesn't work for them. We have individual differences.
Yeah.
There are some things that doesn't really work for other people. So
Yeah.
let's say I am waiting on God. I have an 11-month-old baby, which I know I am struggling. I already have I already have 3 kids, and then I'm not ready now for the 4th one. But I am waiting on God to tell me to plan my family. to to me, is I don't know, but as Sister Constance said, we have to sometimes be, women. So I will agree with Pastor a bit because he's a man. He doesn't really know what it takes for we women to go through like body changes and everything, even to come back to our own self after delivery is very difficult. So imagine getting pregnant every 6 months in the with the excuse that you're waiting for God to speak. Like you're waiting. Okay, let's say, okay, now I want just 3 children. So I'm waiting for you to talk to me. Okay, but they are waiting. And then I get pregnant. What do I do with the pregnancy? I have to give birth. Meanwhile, there are some people who gave birth when their kids were who got pregnant when their kids were 5 months, 6 months, and it wasn't easy. And I also wanted, so there are some people who even go through cesarean sections in all their child. I have been in all my childbirth. I went through cesarean section. So if you tell such a person like me to wait, and I know what I go through in childbirth, so if I want to wait, so God tells me not to give again, is what if I die? Yeah, so I should multiply and die. Who, who, who cater for the other kids? They will go astray, especially here in Europe, where everyone is each one for himself, God for who will cater for my kids? You see, there are some people who have serious complications in child. People have mental illness through childbirth.
Yeah.
So what if someone has we call something mental psychosis? What if this person has this illness during childbirth? Then you tell him or her, there are some people the doctors would just have to do something about their childbirth because it's really not helping. It is really how do you call it? It's a danger to their health. They might lose their lives. They are all called family planning. There are some people whose family planning methods are fixed compulsorily just to protect their own lives. You see, so as I said, if the Bible, okay, we should multiply in number. So I multiply and I die, and then multiply. See,
That's why you are multiplying. So now when you go,
yeah, so who will cater for the others to multiply and also you see, they are small kids. Who will cater for them to die to also multiply and die? You see, so you put them in. I don't know. God is a friend of little children. So imagine children suffering. Like sometimes we have to just put. I really, I come from a family of 5. We are 5 in number, and I know how we went through to get here. You see, and even let's say mine was better, and no crown. Oh, mine was better.
5 is better for me. We are 12 in number.
You see, and you how you suffer, what you really went through. See, sometimes for me, that's what I said. It's a yes, 100 times yes for me. Yes, no matter what. I know even God will understand because He wouldn't want me to die at a young age. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Can I answer her question? You know,
I'm loving the session already.
Yeah, she's broadening the discussion. You said the complications are in it, and the life is at stake. You understand? You said complication and life is at stake here. God is not a wicked God. What we are talking about deliberately preventing what God wants to give. I am not talking about that you the mother your life is at stake, or the child life is at stake maybe once or twice, and then that is not what God is talking about. That is not what I am talking about. I am talking about deliberately going through family planning just because you don't want to give birth again. That is what we are talking about, whereby the life is at stake, because God loves that the same life you are going to give, because you cannot exchange your life with that of your child. So if the doctors see it that, look, your life is at stake, that one, God even knows. God knows that, look, this life is at stake if nothing is done by it. And then they said, because of that, you shouldn't give birth again. I don't think God is against that. That is one thing we need to understand, that we are serving a merciful God who understands what we go through even before it happens. You understand? So when life is at stake, God will not hold you accountable that because, look, you are going to die, and why didn't you die? Give birth and die. No, that is not God, the God we are serving.
Daddy,
I am talking about deliberately going through family planning just because that's all that you give birth to one, you say he doesn't want to give birth again because he doesn't want the children to come and suffer. So he will intentionally. I know some women, they have tube that they insert that that stop them from what from receiving.
Mm-hmm.
I know some of them. There are so many ways
There's so many methods.
no, yeah, because I had a girlfriend that was during my young age when I was in the military. A Liberian, a woman that I brought from Liberia. She during the war, because she didn't want to give birth, she went and inserted this tube that was preventing her from giving birth. So even when she came to Ghana before, I took her to 37 military hospital before she was it was taken from it was removed from her before she was able to give birth. Even though not with me, but when she returned back to Liberia, she went and gave birth. So that is what I am talking about. You know, deliberately planning that you don't want to give birth just because you don't want the children to come and suffer. At her situation, it was war, and then the rebels were just sleeping with anybody. So it could be that she could get pregnant without even knowing the father of the baby. You understand? So we should when we are discussing this, this topic, we should put it in the context that we will all be clear. For me, that is what I've said. Today, we Christians, we lack faith. That is one thing. How we lack faith, and we don't have patience. Number two, the reason why we lack faith, as our sister was saying, God will not come from heaven and speak to you that don't give birth again. You have put your request before God. God answers in so many ways. Yes, you could deliver 6 months and then still, because when they deliver freshly like this, they look so fresh. If you look them, they are so attractive that you cannot believe them. One, I want to be straightforward with you. When you look at her, you can't take your hair because so what I'm saying here, if care is not taken, another problem will happen. So you your prayer request before God. Maybe I do
That's why you don't have to go to God and say you just have to apply. If only the men who are willing to wear condom, and it's like condom is not even something that is even encouraged in the Christian section.
That should be out of the question. That should be out of
this is a form of family planning, but the men don't like it. That's in my initial statement, I said that the onus always lies on the woman to decide more, because you are going to carry the burden of the pregnancy and taking care of the kids. So if you don't plan, because most often, whether you plan or not, the men don't decide so much for you. It's like the man will tell, fine. Or you say you are there, hey, I'm pregnant. Okay, thank God. Then they are just there. But you are the one going through all the struggles and stuff. You know, our African men it's just a few who help with the women. Everything lies on the women. So if our men would think of considering the use of condoms, especially at the time, if your wife tells you that I think I'm ovulating at this time, if we should have sex around this time, I'm going to get pregnant. You know, our kids, just use condom. That is the effective ones for us, because most of the pills and other things that the women use, the side effects are more. The best would have been the condom. But one, it's either the man would abuse it, because even though he's there with the wife, he's likely to cheat on you because condom is there. And that is another issue on it.
Michael will say you are bringing topics that he likes so much.
So for the family planning, we really have to do it.
Condom is out of the question, because if you tell your man to use condom, then you are just directing your man to do as Onan did. You understand? Because Onan refusing to go direct is just like having a condom. So that is also another out of the question for out of the question. Let me quickly answer the question that came concerning sick children when we are giving birth to children. Then I will leave the other panelists to come in. Please, we should understand. That is what I said. Today Christians, we lack faith and we do not understand God. That is why most of us are going through what we are going through. Giving birth to sick children, sometimes the pastors will give in many interpretations. Is a case, but all those things are lie. Honestly, there are some that can be partially true, but then I don't believe, because look, God knows that child that you are going to give birth to is going to be a sickler, but He will give it to you because He knows you can take care of it. Tell me, this young guy, I normally forget his name. This young evangelist who does not have legs. Do you know? If somebody can just remind me of his name.
Yeah, Pastor.
Do you know that the parents were strong Christians? They were true believers, but that is the child God gave to them. They were confused about everything that happened to them. That why should God give them this child? But then after they sought the face of God, they seek the face of God and understand the purpose of God for the child, they took care of that child. Look at that child today. He doesn't have legs, but he is more than me and you who are having two correct, healthy legs and healthy hands. So, God has a purpose of doing everything. So you can't say that I've given birth to first children. If medically, if it is not anything medically and it is natural, I don't think anything is wrong with it. But then maybe if it is medically, if the issue is coming from a medical background, that because of some health issues, that is why you are giving birth to, sick children, then that is also another thing to decide. But then if nothing is wrong with you, and then it is just that, then you know that God has a purpose of giving you that children. So please, let us always understand things in two ways. Once we look at it in the worldly way, then we look at it also in the godly way. Because today, I will tell you frankly, today, especially in Europe here that we live, look, our faith in God has decreased so much to a percentage that I cannot even describe. So that is why we are following so many things around, and it is not helping us. Because the Europeans, as people will say, who brought us the Bible, have turned their back to the Bible, doing their own. That is why they are accepting everything. That is why they are accepting everything that they brought to us that we should believe in. That is why people will strongly say that they just brought it to deceive us. But I don't think that is the case. So please, let us understand that, look, if you are giving birth to sick children and then it is not medical issues from you or from the man that can be treated, and it is natural, you don't have to say that because you are giving. God has a purpose. Just ask, why, God, why did you give me this? What do you want me to do? And then God, if you patiently, we can't hear God because we don't have time for God. So that is why most of us, we can't hear God. We take decisions before even God decides. So this issue is a very, very, very broad issue which needs deep interpretation, because as we are discussing it like this, it will be very difficult for people to understand, especially me, the point I am making, because I am making things in a biblical perspective. So it will be very difficult. That how will I wait for God? If God doesn't speak, what do I do? Yes, God will speak, but maybe you will not hear because our ears have blocked with so many attractions from outside. But when we have time for God, there is nothing. So long as we are His servants and we are His children, He's ready. He's talking to us every day, but we are not ready to listen because we have our own mind. We have our own minds, and we have already taken our decisions. So please, if you are giving birth to sick children and it is not from medical issues from you or your partner, and it is natural, don't say you want to stop or you want to take fire, you want to do family, then you want to tell God that God is not even wise by giving it. Yeah.
Thank you, Papa. If we can look at it from this point of view, I know people want to come in. I can see Stina, very nicely.
Let me
But
come.
today, Mekon is very quiet, so I'll bring you very soon. What Papa is saying is that anything that is natural and is not affecting any health, status or anything, let it be, let it come, because only God knows why He's giving you that sick child, in quote. Yes. And on the other hand, too, it is, when it comes to listening and waiting upon God, let me quote this, which is not from Papa. This was a Latin word. So it means, very simple, we want to hear from God, but we don't hear from God because already our heart is filled with different things. So when God speaks, we've made our decision. Okay, because today, even though we are not done, I've learned something from family planning. At the end, I'll break it down. Wow, you may show. Let me read this one very quick. Stina, you come. Why? I can see. I say, Sunshine said that God never gives us a number of kids. Have I read that? Okay. Number of kids give birth to. Look at Abraham and Sarah. Why did God not then give them 30 children, I believe, or say that the 30 children? Okay. Many of the great men in the Bible did not have kids unnecessarily in abundance. 12 kids in their time was very normal. The lifespan of human has been reduced in our generation. God cannot bless you more when you have sex with protection in our decision. Very quick, I think this question also goes to Pastor Xavier. We would like to very quick later on move to the kind of contraceptives we have. And there's one part that, let's say, generally the Catholic Church or churches agree to it, as research says, and there are five other, let's say 5 or 4 or even more, that the church is totally against. So this question is like, Pastor, now I have a question. So this means condom and everything is taboo, right? Because if pills and implants are not good, condom are also bad. I think Papa has already answered that question, that as for him, there's our condom, the not just say, Onan, you are going back to Onan. Until I think, if I'm correct, Papa, I think you said that one already, right? Okay. So, please, I didn't really get that. Okay, that's the old one. And then, Oh, see, yes, Stina, our bodies go through a lot. The oldest my child got before I got pregnant again was 9 months. Hey, sir. With the first one, I got pregnant before. My friends have even named me birth machine because my husband and I break record. Oh, Asemo, my friends are even still expecting me now to come out with a big belly because my little one is 1 year and I'm not pregnant. I say tribute or I'll say, please, we need family planning. Oh, God will understand. Okay, so another part that Papa also spoke about is, the family planning thing. Say we need family planning. No? It is very important to know how you are. I think we said it already. How to go about it, because family planning, no, is you planning it. That is something I wanted to also stay in the mind. Say you planning your family, so it is still your decision. But then it is not when you just decide out of pleasure, I want to, let's say, for example, have sex, but I don't want to have kids, or I have one and I don't want to have 2, 3. That is where he is saying, say, it is not good. But when it's against your health, if it's against anything that will bring disorder in you understand, that is where it becomes your choice, and it's even okay, because if you would die, why should you give birth to come and die, right? But then if it is out of pleasure, I'm married with my wife, because I know couples that get married and they'll be like, oh, we don't want to have kids now, so they rather go with the condom or whatever. That one, you are blocking God's plan for you. So now it is no more God's plan, it is your family planning. Thank you very much. So very quick, I think Stina wanted to say something. Mecca has to say something on this before we change. and then Constant will also go, so that we just move to the kind of contraceptives we have and how we can go about it. So, Stina, are you ready? I think the internet is gone again. Okay, Mekon, please. So today I haven't heard from you.
Mm-hmm.
I think
You're on mute. We can't hear you.
you're mute. Yes,
Okay.
yes.
I think I have to allow the ladies to speak because I could see they have a lot on their chest. So I should just allow them today to speak it out because I could feel there is really a lot when it comes to this very topic.
I tell you,
So
Mekon, I'm sure.
I think I should allow them. I should allow them to speak today.
Thank you. So,
No, remember, I'm
Yeah.
have to say something as to whether you support. Would you probably, when you marry, are you going to go in for family planning, or I mean, your stand on that? That's what we want to hear.
Okay. Well, for my stand, well, biblically, I think it is against God's will. So since it's against God's will, I would say no. I mean, when in terms of religion, as in Christianity, because like talking about all of these, we have there are people who had 10 kids, and then it is not the first, the second, the third, or the fourth that was able to help the family, but the eighth, 29th born, sometimes even the last born. When you take even Joseph, for instance, who which one of them? They were 12, but Joseph was the 11th. He was the one who was able to help the whole family when the family went into crisis. So imagine if Jacob had gotten, let's say, two or three, and then said he's going for family planning, then it means that he wouldn't have gotten to Joseph's pen. And then when it got to the time where the family was in crisis, obviously there wouldn't have been anyone to save them. You see. And then when we say we are giving examples, there are some people, some rich men who give birth to only one, and at the end of the day, that only one becomes a donkey. And it doesn't matter the family planning. If the child is going to go wayward, there is nothing you can do about it. The child will go wayward. And then when we come to the biblical aspects, I was looking at a few of them, which Genesis 9 verse 7. As for you, be fruitful and multiply, populate the earth abundantly and multiply in it. Genesis chapter 1 verse 22, we've already read it. 125, 124. Genesis chapter 9 verse 1. And God blessed Noah and his sons and said to them, be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth. So which means that filling the earth is very important to God. I mean, if only you believe that there is a God who created the heaven and earth. Um, and then Romans chapter 13 verse 14. Put on the Lord Jesus Christ. Put on the Lord Jesus Christ and make no provision for the flesh in regard to its lust. So don't make any provisions based on your lust, or let's say based on your ideas or on your thinking. But then if you believe that there is a God, then you should know that obviously He has already made provision in His own um, ideas. And then Ecclesiastes 3:15, that which has already and that which will be has already been, for God seeks what has passed by.
The
So it
BCS.
simply means that whatever is there and whatever is going to come, He has already made provision for. He already knows about it. So if we are talking about Christianity and then family planning, family planning is strictly the ideas of man. So unless of course you are not a Christian, but if you are a Christian and you want to go biblical, then it definitely means that all these verses are against um,
Family planning.
are against the family planning. So of course it means that it will be wrong to go by family planning. And there are families which are poor. When the family is poor, the family is poor. It doesn't matter how many kids you give birth to, the family will still be poor. When you look around here, there are white people who stand in the streets to beg. It's not like they come from. We would say that we are the ones who are supposed to do it and looking at where we come from. But they are here. They get documents for free. Some of us are willing to get these documents and then work to be able to supply for their family. They have it, but they choose not to work. They choose to beg. It doesn't matter the family planning. What they want to do is what they are doing. You see. So when we say we are talking about it, it's a whole lot. And even this contraceptive, sometimes it don't work. It feels a lot. You can have the contraceptive, and then you can still get pregnant. And then what do you do? I know some people who took the contraceptive, got pregnant, tried to abort more than 3 times, and the baby refused to come. At the end of the day, the baby came, and the baby is the one who is the breadwinner of the whole family, which means that in God's own ideas, he has a lot of things that you can't question. You see, you can't question because he knows what he is doing. Whatever he does, he sees it as it's good. That is why he is doing it. So you human, since you can't really explain the ideas of God, then obviously you just have to leave everything to God, like Papa was saying.
I'm smiling, Malcolm, because I can see today you are very relaxed and so let me give you one comment directly from the audience. Say, Malcolm has become a preacher to all because of the free chopping. Please, Malcolm, on this end, we are already full. I said, I don't know that, Papa's anointing has covered you to that.
More than, in fact, he has even quoted about 3 or 4.
About 4, 5, 6,
Sorry.
So that's why I'm saying we should just
Leave it for the women. I understand.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. So, Estina, like I said, you just go and then we go into the contraceptives and see, because I could see there was, there was a question, there was an answer, there was an opinion, some heat to be. Give it to us.
And so how do you call it? I'm a bit, because my kids just came in to scatter my brain. Look at all the scatter my brain. You see? Go.
There's a cause for alarm. Family planning straight up.
You see? I'm a bit I don't know, but I think it will be fun.
Don't worry.
As I wanted to say, no woman on this earth there's on this earth who doesn't have a child of her own.
Mm-hmm.
Women, children, valley. That God gives. But it's not as if people just decide.
I think the fault with the microphone is back again. Maybe you just check it and then you come back on it. Or do you press something? I don't know how it goes.
Is it okay now?
I think it's better. Once you're talking, we'll get to, yeah.
Is it okay?
It's good. It's
Yeah.
good. Mm-hmm.
So no woman would just up and tell you I want to do family planning. It doesn't happen. If you do any research on earth, you will see that it is either these women went through one things. Not everyone will want to share his or her story just because he or she want to do family planning, and you ask them why do you want to do, and they tell you straightforward.
Mm-hmm.
And have been, and you know one thing, the tummy, the womb is like balloon. You see, so the more it's like when you buy a balloon and you blow air into it, you compress the air, you bring the air out, blow another air, bring it. See that
I've become weak.
yes. So women become weaker by the day of childbirth. So it's not as if because the Bible says we should just we should multiply our strength. It diminishes the strength I had when I gave birth to my first child. It's not the same strength I have now as I'm talking with my child. You see, so women don't really. We don't. I don't know. It's a pity we are only talking about the women, because the men think they are holy because they don't do family planning. That's why I think Mark and Daddy is a bit, because they think they are holy when it comes to that, because they are not. But we have men family planning, but no man, especially our African, will want to do. You see, so that is why it's as if it is a sin in the, because it is a women thing. How many men do family planning? Most they don't most of them don't even know anything about it. You see, so that is it. No woman in her right sense want to do family planning. We love kids, we love them, but if you see that your strength is going down, you just don't have to. Yeah, I understand these things. If not, you wouldn't even go to in surgery. In the Bible, where in the Bible did someone do surgery? Like we see that there's a brain. Or why don't we pray and wait for God to remove the tumor? God is. I heard Mr. Malcolm saying just we it's just the earth. I didn't get it so well because by then my family planning kids were here. So I think I overheard him say that it's just like something human beings came about. In the Bible, no one did a brain tumor surgery. In the Bible, no one, even cesarean section was not in the Bible. But we can't just watch a woman to die during childbirth whilst there is an option for cesarean section. You see? So, God really understands, and God knows that day in, day out, people are learning to make life comfortable for us. So we can't just say because we have to multiply. If there is, if we really decide, it's a decision. Yes, I would say it's a decision because we are weak. We are getting weaker by the day, and we can't continue like that. You see, you have to also think about us. If you are weak, you can't stand to pray. Weaker than pray. It's just it's as simple as see. So for me, that's why I said I am so passionate about this topic, and I can 100 times, over and over again that for me, yes, for me.
I personally see that we need a seminar. So, Papa, I think you create a small seminar for us to, just treat this kind of family planning thing. And
That,
I'll invite our dear sister Stina to join us there. Then we debate on it live.
yeah, Minister, let me just also put something across just shortly.
Please.
Our sister was saying that Malcolm was making some comments that it was a woman, ideology. Yes, he is right. When you look at what Sister Tina is saying, that in the Bible they didn't commit brain, tumor surgery or whatever it is. That is what in my submission, I made you to understand that in the Bible there were physicians. If there were no sicknesses, there wouldn't have been a physicians. In the Old Testament, in the New Testament, even in the Paul's ministerial journey, he was always working with a physician. Luke was a physician. He was a doctor, medical doctor, who was working with them. So it means that there was sickness. But what we are talking about, that the family is the family planning. We are not saying that when you are sick, don't go to hospital. When you are sick, for me as a pastor, I will not tell you that when you are sick, wait for me to come and pray for you before you seek medical attention. No, it is wrong. Other than that, God wouldn't have given people the wisdom in order to attend medical schools, in order to become doctors in the olden days. It wasn't today that they are physicians. The physicians were there 2,500 years ago, 3,000 years ago. So those things are different from what we are discussing now. You know, when family planning is something that is what I mean. It is a broad subject that it will take long. Those who believe in it, those who want to believe in it, will believe in it. But those who do not, at the end, none of us are judges. God is the only judge. At the end, God is the one who is going to judge each and every one of us. So me today, I will not sit here to say it is. For me, I said it is not good because it is against the biblical standard. But I am not judging he or she that is into it. God has not made me a judge. I myself, I am going to account for, and you are also going to account for. So when you stand before God, it's only God who is going to tell you that whether you did it well or not. So it is something that when we want to talk about it, we will bring references and all this, and then it will not end the discussion. So please, I am not saying that we shouldn't seek medical attention when we are not sick, because it is part of life. But what do you call it? Family planning. I said we should seek the face of God and pray for God to just pause. When it is coming, we should turn it other way so that it doesn't. What did it say?
I like that.
But Pastor, some things are, you see, they are biological.
Exactly.
It's biological. If God has made it, once the sperm meets a fertile ovary, definitely a baby has to be formed. It's biological. There is nothing to pray. Then it's like when you are even going to sleep with your wife, it's like now that you have to pray to seek the face of God.
Pause button.
Look,
because once we are sexually active, two things will happen. Sex is for procreation and for pleasure.
Yeah.
So definitely, once you have the pleasure, procreation is also there. And the way the age that we are in, sometimes even we at this age, we know a lot. But how about our kids that are coming up, our teenagers who are so sexually active, engaging in sex because they have reached the point where the hormones are high and they are doing anything? You even have to protect them, help them, because sometimes they are even confused at that age. Last time we spoke about abortion. And when you look at the statistics, it's like most of those who are committing abortions are the students, those in SS, those in universities and stuff. And it gets to a point where you can't even plan. But then if you are able to take a certain decision, that's why I made mention of condom, because that is the easiest contraceptive with you have about 98% efficiency. So that you even aside pregnancy, you are also preventing sexually transmitted diseases. We are Christians, but we shouldn't be everything and pray and pray. Things are more practical now. And it's like, because we Africans, everything the Bible say, but people are suffering in their homes, in their individual state. A lot is going on. One thing I always tell my parents is, they failed me in the sense that when I was growing up, they were supposed to tell me head on. I mean, sex is this is that. Or they will say, hey, by the time you are menstruating, show who you and you just tell me that. How do I even go about it? Okay, my mother said, don't talk to a man because you're going to get pregnant. But you've not told me the exact thing.
So you didn't talk, you acted, and that was different.
You see, and then your friends are advising you negatively. Oh, this one, when you do it, is and at that age, peer pressure, curiosity, because it's like you don't have any burden on you. Your parents are taking care of your fees. All you have to do is to concentrate on your books and stuff. But it gets boring. You want to do extracurricular activities. And that is where all these things come in. Aside the married people, how about the young ones, the single ones, who are even shy to be, because of what society will say, that me, I'm not married and I'm giving birth, so I rather go this way. He has to protect himself with his or herself with contraceptive, because you think you are not even ready to take care of the child. You see, a lot of things come with it.
I'll say it in pastor's voice. I'll say, you are not ready. It's, so that game, is for the married one, the adult ones.
You and I know that is the standard for them, but it's not working.
What was that?
The singles are even doing it more than the married.
And also, and America say we are talking as Christians. We are not talking as outside. I told you before even I became a Christian, a real Christian, because in quote every African or every Ghanaian is a Christian. But before I became a dedicated Christian, I had girlfriends, but I thank God I couldn't have any kid outside before I got married. You are and at that time you say me ya make us say hey ready na so if you are not ready, as a child of God, the Bible said until you are married you are not supposed to have any sexual intercourse. So and that is how that because we cannot work with the word of God. That is why things are going that way for us. So I am sticking to that because I am talking as a pastor and as a Christian. Even though I understand those who are outside, by then I want us to look it in the Christian perspective. That is why I am always sticking to that. So when we are talking this case, if we are training them, educating them that look, as a child, this is what is going to happen. And secondly, you are a child of God. You are not supposed to have sex before marriage. So if these all are able to look, I have a daughter who is in the university now. I can tell you, I say it to the glory of God. She is over 22 years, but she doesn't know man. And it is my prayer that she will.
Your eyes, too.
Huh?
Maybe in your eyes, you are seeing it that way. Because I tell you, the things that we can do. Maybe for me like this, I'm a perfect example. I know my father is the head of a church. If I tell you that when I was in school, I had an abortion without even if my father is to find out this, he'll be so surprised. You see, even though I was brought up in the club, but there were challenges. There were challenges. That was not that was my point now. You see, we can talk about it in the Christian perspective, but in reality, even with the Christians, there are a lot of things we are going through, and if we should voice it out, you see that even those in the world are far better off than us.
That is it. That is very true. That is very true. I agree with you perfectly. That that is why I'm saying that it is today that it is today the Christianity we are having that is causing us a lot.
Yeah.
Because most of us have run into the church and have covered ourselves with the church. But honestly, those who are outside that do not even that are not even the church are better off than us. We are in the church just to be called Christians, but in reality, we are not Christians.
Yeah.
There are so many instances we can give, and I think in another topic we will discuss that. There are so many things. Look, as me as a pastor, look, I have been. Maybe one day I will talk about my life. So I have been a kubolo, I have been a truck pusher, I have been a kayayu. So I know everything. I have been a weed smoker. I have been a womanizer. So as I stand in front of the church, whatever you are doing, I know. Because I have been there before and I know the tactics in them. That is why most of our church members, sometimes they tell me I am so strict because I have been to where you are coming from. So there is nothing that you show me now, or there's nothing that you do now. If I don't want to talk about it, I don't want to talk about it. But then, that does not mean I don't know what you are doing. You understand? So, we are covering ourselves. By all these times, most of these times, I was in the church. I was in the church pretending as if I am a Christian. Meanwhile, I wasn't.
Yeah.
I am talking about 25 years ago. You understand? So, these are some of the things that for me as a pastor, when I look at it, I pray that God should help all of us. Because the pretending in the church is so much that even people who are outside are better off than those of us who are in the church. So please don't misunderstand me. I am just making my point in the biblical way. Yes, people are already doing, even as we are talking, there are many Christians who are doing family planning. That is why I say at the end, God is our judge. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I see this one or say this topic needs part 2. It's all because we want to see Pastor here again and Stina as well. The second, because we also need to know how we can pray and do family planning naturally without sinning. Okay. So this brings me, even though we just actually have 10 minutes, I would just like us to just go through the kind of family planning or contraceptives that we have. I've made some points here. I don't know if we know of some of these things. NFP. Do we know what the NFP is? That is exactly what churches, I would say in general, most the Catholic churches are for it. They say that NFP, you are for it. Yes.
What's the full meaning of NFT?
NFP is natural family planning.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I understood, and I was asking myself if that happened to Onan, because that to me is also natural
family planning withdrawal.
There was no pills, there was nothing. So if they talk about natural family planning, means you have to check when the cycle is going. That is when the woman exactly, and then you stop, and then you calculate those 3 days you get in. If it doesn't work from there to this time, the woman is fruitful and all this stuff. So whilst you are calculating the money, your business and everything, you'll be calculating that of your wife as well. And then you have, I don't know if at the end of the month you get paid, but then that is part of it. And that is where the church or the Catholic Church is totally for it. Then they also have, yes, please, come in.
It doesn't work for everyone because we have men who have irregular menses. If you have an irregular menses, this will never work for you. Because there are some people who menstruate. We have 21 days and we have 28 days cycle. If you want to calculate, you will get pregnant.
To feel you,
yeah. So it doesn't work for everyone.
Okay, so I can see that if we are getting into that, it will be another topic on its own. Exactly. So let me pause it here. Like I said, most of us will be going to work. Most of you will have plans in the morning. However, I wouldn't like to take your time. This calls out for a part 2 of this session. And you please watch out as well. There will also be another conversation with our man of God here. Personal one will be breaking your maybe. And Stina, we'll connect on another part. I'm very grateful for each and every one here. As I always do, since we have right now 8 minutes, everyone should give us the last advice on family planning. Like Papa said, and I believe we all understand and agree to it, it's a very broad topic. It is not something you take 2 minutes or 2 hours to just quickly talk about something. We can actually have it in episodes. So we will see the reaction of people if they are really interested in it, but there will definitely be a part 2 on this, which we will talk about it, have some points. We have questions there that we need to add to it. And when it comes to the contraceptives, I believe that we will have some breakdowns, just like Stina said, it doesn't work for everyone. So if we are accepting that one and it's not working for everyone, it's like we are being biased on another way, Christianity-wise. Yeah, so we'll come back to that. Let's drop it for today. But everybody, we'll go one by one. Give me your advice or feedback on this personal topic, this family planning thing. If you are, like I asked in the beginning, if somebody comes to you and asks you, irrespective of your background or however, what will be your personal advice on this issue? I would like to say, let's go by ladies first once again. And then please, we all make it snappy a little bit. I mean, 2 minutes should be enough. Just give us your basic topics and then we run it down. Then I will tell you what I understood on family planning today. So, which one of the ladies will be going? I think
Okay,
Stina is
you.
on pause right now. So, Constance.
Okay. So in my final submission, I would say that for the church, because the church is made up of human beings, we make the church what it is. God has given us the brains. We have physicians, we have gynecologists, other people in our midst. That whenever we have a challenge, we really need to consult them. I don't see it as a sin if we practice family planning. And family plan, that is where, when you have a number of kids that you think you and your partner, you are okay with looking at your resources and looking at how, I mean, your income, everything, your level of dependency. If you think you can keep up to 6 kids, it's your choice.
Mhm.
And you, the woman, you also, you are the one bearing the kids. So my focus will be on the women, that you check yourself very well. It's not just the fact that because they say we should produce, produce, produce. You check your health, you check other things, and see. There are some women, she can give birth today, the next day she's already on the way to the farm. You know, some are very, very strong, but there are some who give birth today who have to lie in bed for so long. So you check yourself very well. If you see that, fine, I have one, I have two, I have three, I have four, my body can still go. It's up to you. But the best would be that just not to make a nuisance of society and bring pressure on the government and other people within our family. Plan very well. Choose the method that you think will be okay for your body. And the easiest for me would have been a condom, which I will always say condom for the men, because they are the main givers. They are the main givers. So if you would use a condom to prevent this as a form of family planning, the better it is for us. When we are not in the time that we are safe, we go wrong. See, that would be my family planning method for today. And for
Thank,
the women, the other methods are there, but I would advocate for the condom use.
thank you very much. Condom, man, yeah, the two dear. Stina. If you stay on my show for long, you will laugh. You forget, Class. The topic is.
Okay, so my little advice is it an advice? Okay. Is that for me, as I said, I don't think there's an any issue with it. If you know it's a choice. I even if I didn't hear anything, I heard pastor saying it. So it's a choice. I believe strongly in God. I'm a Christian and I believe in it. But I think I am speaking from the medical background that it's a choice. If you think your strength won't help you get there, or if you think you won't be able to give these kids the best, I think the best thing you will do for yourself and your kids and for your society is to plan your family well. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Megan, give us only 1 minute, cry, give it to us.
Your
Start
microphone.
sound again.
Okay. So, we've all said, the topic is the church and the family planning, if, whether or not it's a go
You have
or
to
a
speak
not a
loud a
go.
little bit. It's very down.
Yeah, what I'm saying is the topic was family planning and the church, whether it's a go or a no go. And I'll still stand by going biblically. Like Pastor has repeated, if you think that you are not ready, you just don't go in. But the moment you go in, you should know that you should be ready for anything that comes out next. And then talking about the whether you want to do the family planning, I think the best is um, to use the natural way, which is not the pull out method like we were saying, but rather to check the menstrual cycle and then know which week is the ovulation week and all that. Because at the end of the day, all of them fails. Even the condom, it can burst and then it will still result in the same thing. All the contraceptive methods have a disadvantage. Not even one of them, all of them. The one that I would say has, let's say, a greater advantage when it comes to preventing childbirth will be vasectomy. But vasectomy, at the end of the day, there are two things involved. It's either you contract STD or you won't be able to give birth again. So at the end of the day, all of them is not the best. So whether we choose the biblical or we choose the non-biblical, we are still resulting in the same thing. So why don't we choose the biblical if we say we are Christians? So that is how I'm
Thank
going
you
to
very
end
much.
my submission.
You see, you made mention of one thing, and I could see some faces here saying, hey, what is he talking about? So you see, we need a part two. Yes, Papa. I chose Papa to be last because when we are closing church, it is not you, it's not me, but it is the man of God. Papa, please.
Minister, thank you, Minister, and I thank all our panelists for a very wonderful and open discussion. It is always good to have such discussion with open opinion. For me, as I have just said, I will always say, it's a choice. No matter what I will advise you to do, at the end, you and your partner has the final say. Because I can tell you it is not good, but maybe you and your partner will say, no, we don't agree with pastor, so we want to go it on our own way. I have said my, because I always want to see what God will say if he is the one talking. So for me, I don't believe in the family planning, but at the end, it is your choice to make. Yeah. Having said that, as I said during our discussion, if it is about a medical stance, it's about medical issues, then you have no choice. But then if it does not matter about your health, it does not concern your health, and you are healthy, everything is okay, then please, I will not advise you to go in for. Thank you. I believe we'll be having a part two in order to
Yes, thank you very much. So,
go.
thanks to everyone on this platform and our viewers as well. You've made a great session out of this. I'm very grateful. Your questions, your opinion, backing it, and everything. It was wonderful. We can all see how Mekan could turn into a pastor today. And
Quoting scripture.
yes, so the way he was quoting the things, I thought so we could have put this. So we thank God for that. And you can see how the power of man of God can influence. Well, we will definitely have a part two. We will see the time that will be convenient for all of us, mostly for Stina and Pastor Xavier, because as for us, the team, we discuss and we know how and when to go on. One thing I could learn out of this is that through the don'ts and do and everything, I understood that family planning is a total goal. It's only how you understand it. Why? The family planning, we have understood it that stop it, go for this, go for that. But as we were talking and through Pastor Statement, I got to know that family plan is plan your family. You understand? So if you know you are expecting 200 guests, plan for 200 guests. Like Ajwa Rose said, if you are waiting for kids for 235 kids, start planning for 235 kids instead of using this method to stop it. So that is the only thing I got out of this, that yes, we are actually aiming for the same thing, but the other one says the cup is half full, the other one is half empty. But the half empty is what I understood, that please let me say it again. Somebody will say, Derek said, Pastor said family planning is good. Pastor did not say family planning is good. I said that I took it out of the context that family planning is to be understood that plan your family, right?
Yeah.
So make sure, since 4 kids are coming, you have a bigger place, money is there, they have dress, so that later on they will not become a burden. They will not start going beg somewhere. And if you think it's enough, also one advice, don't eat the fruit too much. In that case, no eating, no swelling belly. Thank you very much. This is TNT. I'm so grateful for all of you. See you next
Yeah,
week.
have a great week ahead. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.